Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Yhug coming at you guys with a brand new video. Today's video, wanted to talk about something I feel like I've been learning, which is learning to fall in love with the process. And what I mean by that is, as we go through our walks in life and trying to become who we want to become and, get the careers that we want to get and all that. And, as we grow, um, we're on a journey basically, right? And y'all know the famous saying. So this is gonna sound corny, and this whole video might sound corny, which if it does, my fault. But it's, it's not about the destination; it's about the journey. But I feel like that's true, man. Like Kyrie Irving said, bro, chopping wood, carrying water. That's what this is all about, Like I've learned throughout the past couple of months and really in the last year that being too focused on the outcome and trying to force the outcome to happen is not the way to go, man. It's about falling in love with the process, because when you're so focused on the outcome, and if that's all you're focused on, you might as well just throw it out the window, because you're gonna start cheating yourself. You're gonna start cheating, what it is you're trying to do, and you're basically not respecting yourself in a way, because like I said, since you're cheating yourself, you're not able to learn and become better and acquire new skills and refine skills that you already have. You know what I mean? And it's like, I've sort of noticed that, like, for my primary examples with videos, some days when I'm like trying to capitalize on a video getting decent views and I immediately upload the next day after, it's like the next video won't be up to the same quality. You feel me? And it might look worse, or some edits might be lazy. And I feel like that's why it's so important to really just be patient, because as long as you know that the outcome is going to happen, you don't even have to worry about it anymore. You can go ahead and throw that in the back of your mind and not be too focused on it, and just focus on the process. Focus on getting better each day in and day out. Relishing in the failures and the struggles, taking those failures and struggles and using them to become better, right? And becoming mentally stronger and all that, and just acquiring new skills day in and day out. And I feel like, even in the Bible, it talks about something like that, where it's like, God tells us that, like, we should relish in our failures, in our shortcomings, because it's gonna only make us stronger. You know what I mean? And I feel like that applies to here. And I feel like that's one of the main things I've been taught, because, like, even when it comes to my faith, I look at my shortcomings and I used to beat myself up over it. But as I start actually looking at the progress I've made, I'm like, well, hold on now. Obviously, none of it is possible without God, but you get what I'm saying? And I feel like it's the same thing here. Any progress I've made is, like, because I've taken the opportunities that I've, of learning from when I've failed, and I've capitalized and refined certain areas of weaknesses. Because if you don't fail, you don't know what you're weak at. You get me? So you need to go through that. And I feel like this is something people need to hear, like, before they really start their journeys. And I'm probably not the most qualified person to talk about this. I know I haven't made it. I'm not like a super big content creator or anything like that, but it's just something that I've noticed and I feel like is valuable information to just share, And who knows, maybe someone might find this video and it might help them. But yeah, like, moral of the story is, when you learn to fall in love with the process, the grind, getting up every day, getting better, learning from your weaknesses, failing, seeing what you can do better, refining your weaknesses, adding new skills, getting up in the face of defeat, pretty much, right? That was kind of corny, I'm not gonna lie, but that's just what came into my mind. And it's like, having that, not only is it, learning to fall in love with that, not only is it going to be helpful in the long run, but it makes actually reaching the outcome more fulfilling to you, because there's always going to be that feeling of, all right, what's next, and even someone myself who, when I've reached goals, I'm like, damn, that was cool, but there's got to be more. And when it was the most fulfilling for me, and some might call this corny, was when I hit affiliate on Twitch. The reason why I say some might call this corny is because, like, my Twitch still isn't as big, and I'm sure a lot of people have hit affiliate. But for me, because I was actually grinding for that, and each day I was like, okay, how can I be more engaging as a streamer, right? What times do I got to stream at? What is it that I'm missing? How do I engage better with the community? How should I better promote? What game should I be streaming? And when I finally hit affiliate and got that first, $50 little deposit into my bank, dude, I cried. because it was so fulfilling, you know. And I feel like had I been the opposite and just too focused on the outcome instead, it probably wouldn't have been the same, and it probably would have taken longer. And you know, that's what I've noticed, even like on YouTube specifically, when I try to force myself at press and get to the outcome before it's even my time to get there, you know. And that's why I feel like it's so it's so valuable to learn to fall in love with the process, because then it teaches you patience, you know. And instead of being like, damn, when's my time, you learn to sit back and be like, my time will come. Now I just gotta wait for it and get better as I'm going. And when your time finally comes, you won't be even better than you were had you forced it, you know, because you're gonna be equipped with way more skills. You're gonna be a lot more ready, and it's gonna be not easier necessarily, but you're gonna have a slight edge over other people. You get me? So yeah, but that's it. You know, that's just the word I wanted to speak onto you guys. I felt like it was being spoken unto me, you know, especially by God. And I feel like that's what I've been taught recently. And like I said, I may not be the most qualified to talk about this, right? Because at the end of the day, who am I? 400 subscribers, not the biggest channel out there, but 400 is still a lot of people. That's 400 people, remember that. So it's like, I still think, you know, it's just valuable information to have out there, and you know, it could help someone along the way. So you know, if this video helped you, even if you're just one person, I'm glad. And like I said, you know, sorry if at least I think I said this, sorry if like some of this was corny and a little repetitive and redundant, but I just really want to get this message out there. But yeah, hope you guys were able to get something out of it. And you know, if it was corny, let me know if what I said was corny, so I could help and fix that, and you know, sound a little bit more professional and more nonchalant in the next video, you feel me? But yeah, love you guys, peace be with you, God loves you, God bless, have yourselves a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.